Hey guys, Kevin here, and today we have another Dokkan discussion video with...
Yo, boy. No.
Oh my god. Alright, so we have Theo here for a specific reason this time. Mostly because who here actually plays the inferior version of Dokkan Battle?
Whoa,
Theo
whoa,
does.
whoa,
No.
whoa. I'm weeaboo scum. Thank you very much.
Nah, but... So, if you couldn't tell by the title of this video, which will be complete clickbait, and I have no remorse for that, so... We're gonna be talking about the Dragon Ball Heroes cards and how most of them are pretty much garbage, and you shouldn't even run them, even if you have them.
Right.
So let's get on to this, starting with. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say the whole point is that, like, global players complain all the time that, oh, I almost said JP doesn't have these cards. Global doesn't have these cards. And they make a big fuss about it, which is understandable. And, it's like, the legitimacy, or like, I guess I should say the logistics of the thing, that both versions should have each card. But looking at it, like, in terms of, the actual cards themselves, and if they're even really necessary, they're pretty much not necessary for one thing, but like they're not really good enough to even maybe warrant coming to global at this point.
Yeah. So let's start with that by talking about was it Bobbity Absorbed Majin Buu? Yeah. Boob, itty. I mean, my videos aren't even monetized at this point, so why do I care? Alright, so Theo is sharing his screen just so I can get accurate translations here, because for whatever reason I can't record the Dokkan Wiki without OBS wanting to kill itself. Fun! Alright, so...
What? Are you just gonna drop an F-bomb there? I was like, ew.
Alright, his leader skill is 3 key when 50% or above HP, so you're never running this guy's leader. He has extreme damage with a high chance to stun. High chance is cool, extreme damage is garbage. All allies 30% attack when HP is 80% or below, which is, it's okay, but remember, we're talking about extreme int. The team with no key links at all.
Exactly.
And his link skills are, Majin. I'm pretty sure that's Brutal Beatdown, Brutality, yeah. Mage was like... Theo, give me translations, okay. Brainiacs, Demon, Majin, Brutal Beatdown, Metamorphosis, Nightmare, and the Wall Standing Tall. I hate Google Translate. But yeah, and its 12 key is like, what? 125%. Oh boy, what a time that was.
And it's apparently a 50% chance to stun.
Yeah, but even then, like, why would you run this on Extreme Int of all things?
So,
to link with Kid Buu?
So here's like, one thing I did want to kind of talk about here is just like how much I mean, I'm not gonna make this video all about me, but I guess I am in this section, but no, I kind of wanted to talk about, like, personally how much I actually run these individual cards, just because I literally have every card that we're gonna be talking about today, because I'm Dragon Ball Heroes weeaboo. But literally, like, the only reason that I've ever run Boobity is just to kind of experiment, because he does link very well with Kid Buu and Buhan. He does link very well with them on the team.
Buhan.
Stop. But like, that's literally the only reason I've ever run him, and honestly, I think these days that's probably the only reason anyone who has him is ever running him, just to kind of, give some more linkage to Kid Buu. Yeah. And honestly, when he's linked with Buhan, you really don't need it. Plus, Extreme Int being the way it is, it needs, all those support units that you're running on it, and obviously this unit takes the place of one of those support units.
And he doesn't give key is the issue. If he gave key, then I could say, okay, maybe run him.
Exactly. Plus, it's 80% HP or below. Like, that's
maybe
really low.
If this guy does Dokkan one day, who knows? But right now, he is complete garbage, and that's his base stats without orbs, like barely over 7,000 attack, so...
Plus, since Buhan heals, that's also going to be hard for him to get to that part anyway. Granted, Buhan doesn't heal as good as he used to.
Kid Buu heals 12%, don't forget that.
Right. So...
But yeah, so that's Boobity out of the way. Let's go on to Baby Janemba.
Janem, baby, however you say it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why this was a thing, who knows. Here's his stats. A little below 8,000, so a bit better, I guess. Sure, why not? Leader skill is HL tapes HP and defense 60%, useless. Supreme damage and greatly lowers defense, which is decent, I guess. Passive skill is start of the turn, recover 10% HP, attack and defense plus 5,000. So
Now,
he's basically
I will
in
say-
Janemba with a HP heal.
Right. Back in the day, he was very good. Like, a lot of people really like this guy. But keep in mind, too, this card and the other Dragon Ball Heroes card, as well as Super Python and the Dokkan Awakened form Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, came out a while before the rest of the cards did. So they were in an older meta. And this guy was actually very good back then. You know, the HP recovery was pretty good, but now that he has that flat percent passive as well, it's not so good for my mans.
And his link skills are Thirst for Conquest, Shocking Speed, Fear and Faith, Coward, Hatred of Saiyans, and Metamorphosis. So, links are decent-ish. I mean, it's not the best thing ever, but it's not the worst thing.
Exactly.
I mean, he has the baby links, which are really not that good. Hatred of Saiyans, that hot 2 key.
So good.
But yeah, so that's Baby Janemba.
Right, he's really not that good as the bottom one. Oh, and in terms of me running him, I literally don't run him. He is like pretty sure he's SSR level 1 sitting in my box.
Yep, and I mean, he's Extreme AGL, and that team already has enough issues on its own. So, yeah. Next, we got a bit of a better card, Super Pycon, or Pykuhan, as Google Translate will call him, Pykuhan. 2 separate words. Pi. Okay.
Haiku-han.
Alright, so, first off, here's his regular stats, a bit below 8,000. There's his rainbow. His leader skill is all tapes, HP, and attack plus 20%. He causes supreme damage and greatly lowers attack. His passive is attack plus 10,000 when facing one enemy. And his links are Gentleman, Brainiacs, Tough as Nails, Shocking Speed, Experienced Fighters, and Supreme Warrior. So, for one, he's not fitting on Super STR at all.
No.
Like, he ain't global STR Pycon with that prepare for battle, let's just say that much.
Exactly. And again, he has I mean, 10,000 isn't too bad, but
yeah, but even then, like nowadays,
flat.
even in the JP meta, like now, that's barely anything. Heck, even Broly is slowly falling out of the meta.
Right, exactly.
Because keep in mind, the free Future LR Trunks gets half of what Broly gets, and he's a free card.
Exactly.
So that just goes to show. But yeah, so this is Pycon. He's not even usable on a team. Like, what are his link skills? Like, he has what? Shocking Speed? Okay, he can be used on STR if you really wanted to, but you really wouldn't. Like,
no, there's so many better options in this.
yeah,
deck.
exactly. So
He's definitely level 1 SSR in my box. I know that for
so
certain.
now we have a more controversial unit, which is the reason why, like, the next units are a reason why I chose to make this video and bring Theo along with us. We have the Super Saiyan 3 Teen Gotenks.
Now, real quick, before we get into him, I do just want to remind you guys, of course, when he first came out, he was only the Super Saiyan, like, well, technically teen, but I'm going to call him adult Gotenks because that's what I called him for a long time.
Yeah.
But originally, he obviously didn't have that Dokkan Awakening, and then he got it. He's at the moment to get one, and that obviously makes him, like, the Dokkan Awakening makes him a lot more form. If it was his original form, I would say that he's definitely probably better lumped with the rest of the cards we've been over, but since he got his Dokkan Awakening, he is a lot better.
With the fist tanks, I'm pretty sure, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm
pretty
pretty
sure, yeah.
Alright, so let's go over. His leader skill is Tech Types Key plus 2, attack and defense 70%. Usable, but not really something you want to do. His super attack is supreme damage and raises attack for 6 turns, which is very good. His super attack is attack. Oh my god, don't die. His passive is 100% when performing a super attack. Its link skills are Super Saiyan, Fused Fighters, Over in a Flash, Limit Breaking Form, Budding Warrior, Kamehameha, and Fierce Battle. So
You almost said prepare for battle.
Yeah, I almost did. So where should we start?
You go ahead. You start.
So first off, his categories. This guy has like he's Gotenks, so Hybrid Saiyans, Super Saiyan 3, and I'm missing one.
Fusion.
Fusion. Doi.
It's okay.
So yeah, on those teams, he can be run very well. But here's the thing. On all those teams, there are still better options than this Gotenks.
Mm-hmm.
Which
He's
is
definitely a good sub option though.
yes, which is like he's a good sub option, but obviously in Dokkan you want to aim for the quote-unquote optimal teams anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't even use this guy on Global or JP if you had the optimal team, unless you wanted to. So in that case, like I understand if people don't want this unit on Global, but Global's not really suffering from not having him. Sure, the Super Saiyan 3 category might be limited, like a bit more limited on Global than on JP because of this and two other units we'll get into in a second, which you probably already know. But it doesn't really break Super Saiyan 3 as a team. You have LR Goku, EZA Goku, Angel Goku. You have the the Kid Goku, the GT Vegeta, who got great Dokkan Awakenings.
Mm-hmm.
And arguably might be better than this Gohan, or Gotenks, honestly. Because this Gotenks suffers from a 130% key modifier, if you could say here.
Right.
So yeah, like, it's hard to say, like, this guy is definitely one of the better ones of the Heroes cards, but even then, he's nothing game-breaking, which is what I think. Like, if JP got a card, like, who knows, like, people are saying, like, JP might get new Heroes cards eventually. If they get, like, a freaking Heroes Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, or Vegeto, and that guy's broken, or, like, optimal on every team. Yeah, if they're optimal on if they're like optimal on every team they could be on, then there's a bit more understanding of why like people would be mad. But I think Bandai probably knows this and makes the units not as good as like Dokkan Fest cards.
Right. Plus, you got to keep in mind too, the banners that these guys come from are, I can't really say filler banners, but that's sort of what they are. Like, you know, they're not obviously like big Dokkan Fest, like, you know, head honcho type of units. You know, they're units that are meant to be those in-between filler banners. And it's just, you know, kind of a special thing just because obviously, you know, Japan has Dragon Ball heroes. So they're not, you know, meant to be super broken units. But...
yeah. And remember, there's always a chance that if the new Heroes anime gets localization, this could come to Global. Because that is the main issue. There's not really licensing issues, like people keep saying that's not fully true. Like it could be a bit, but not, like it wouldn't make sense. But it's the fact that we've said it before, me and Theo both have said it.
Right. I'm actually going to make a video on this for this week. So
it's because there's no reason for them to bring Heroes to the West, like these cards, because there's no advertising for it. There's no games. There's no arcade machines. There's no, there's no... The West shouldn't even know about this, theoretically.
Right, exactly. Unless, well, obviously if you go to Japan.
But. Yeah. But anyways, enough about that. Let's get into our next card. Super Saiyan 3. Teen Gohan. Right, Teen Gohan? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, real quick about Gotenks, in terms of how much I use him. I use him a lot more often than I probably use the rest of these guys. But mainly I use him just because I like the character. Yeah. Like, I'm a big fan of Gotenks and, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. You just think it's really cool. Obviously, you know, like we said, he is one of the better ones, so he is a little bit more usable. But honestly, I just like him. I just use him because I like him mostly, so he's not that
But you know who's
Plus,
better than him on something like Super Tech?
Ooh.
Tech Vegeta Blue, that both versions have.
Which I also have, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get into Gohan. His leader skill is Int type, Ki +2, attack and defense +60%, pretty meh. Super attack called Supreme Damage, raises his attack for 6 turns, which is a very good boost. And his passive skill is very interesting, being, let me actually get this on the screen so viewers can see this wacky Google Translate translation. His passive skill is attack and defense +6% at the start of turn, and then an additional 60% attack when performing a super attack. And with how Dokkan calculates this is a very big boost, because it goes start of turn, links, and then super attack.
And he also has 140 key multipliers, so that helps too.
Yep. And his link skills are Super Saiyan, Saiyan Lineage, Warrior Race, Experienced Fighters, Over in a Flash, and Limit Breaking Form. Now, how do you feel about this guy, Theo?
I really like him personally. I honestly run him on Super Int most of the time. If I do run him, I don't usually Saiyan 3. Obviously, he's pretty good on Super Saiyan 3.
Hmm.
Um, like we said, he's definitely one of the better ones. Though keep in mind that there are lots and lots of better options than this
Yeah.
guy. Again, he's suboptimal. He maybe hits around like 800k a milli at best.
Here is
He
based
at
stats
least
though.
from my right, is at least from my personal experience, that's usually where he's chilling around. Um, so he's pretty cool. Obviously, Super Saiyan 3 Gohan as a character is just really awesome.
Yeah.
Especially since they, chose to go with the teen variation of Gohan.
Mm.
But it's not anything like we said that's game breaking. Sure,
Yeah.
it's a cool card. I almost said a cool hard. That's weird. A cool card. He's cool. He does decent damage, but he's not anything to,
Yeah.
get
Now,
too
what would throw our whole argument
overworked
out
about.
the window would be if any of these guys along like got the treatment as the Gotenks did and got a Dokkan awakening.
Right. If
Because
you
if
guys
this
remember,
Gohan got Fierce Battle, he would trigger
exactly.
Fierce Battle, Super Saiyan, and experienced fighters with the Int lead Gogeta.
I was just gonna say, well, a lot of people were talking about when this first guy came out, or when this guy first came out, excuse me. If he did in fact get a Dokkan Awakening, he might be one of the best cards in the game.
I feel like though I feel like he
That was at
probably
the
won't
time,
though.
though.
Is
Now
the
he
thing.
would be pretty good, but he
Yeah.
wouldn't be one of the best cards in the
But
game.
I
But
feel like
he
even if he
definitely would
did
be
get a
good.
Dokkan Awakening, which I feel like he won't, because the only one out of these Heroes cards who did was the Gotenks, and I feel like that was for
Well,
a reason.
I guess, but that's also because he was the most popular out of the bunch,
Yeah.
and I feel like Gohan was the most popular out of the more recent bunch, so I
Yeah.
could see him getting it.
It depends. Like I said, we don't know, but if he does, then he will be a lot higher on people's lists. But even then, we're in the category meta now, and for example, he's on Hybrid Saiyans. You need Shocking Speed or to be an LR on that team, or you're not on it.
Yep.
So that's the Gohan. Let's get into the Super Saiyan 3 Trunks.
Pretty cool card though. This guy.
Alright, so we have Agile types, Ki +2, attack and defense +60%. It's the same thing as all these guys. Supreme damage raises defense for 6 turns. And his passive is, let me get this on the screen. Alright, passive is attack and defense 60%, disables enemy's guard, and a high chance to guard against all attacks. Link skills are Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, Cold Judgment, Over in a Flash, Royal Lineage, and Limit Breaking Form. So, how often do you use this guy, Theo?
Um, kind of often. I mean, like he is a pretty good tank. Um, like obviously, when the guard doesn't activate, you're kind of,
Yeah.
kecked. But when it does activate, he is a very good tank. He tanks pretty well. Obviously, he's got some decent linkage, but again, there are better options for this guy. Like literally, Super Saiyan 3
Mm.
knocks this guy off the team
Repeat
immediately.
that. Discord cut you off.
Oh, I said Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta knocks him immediately
yeah.
off the team. Because his defensive mechanic is so much better. And
Of
even if you
course.
want 2 defensive units, there's still other units that you could run. Plus if you have, like a really powerful unit, if you're one of your units, is obviously like Rainbow or something, they're still gonna be, doing pretty well on their own
Mm.
just with that mechanic going. So I mean, he's pretty good. I would say he's definitely one of the better ones again, like we were
Yeah.
saying before. Again, nothing game breaking. He's just another tank option in my eyes.
Though another issue is that this guy cannot fit on AGL very well, especially with how
he
Super
does
AGL
not.
has
I've tried it.
more tanks, and he has no shocking speed. And also, he is not on the future category, even though he is technically future Trunks.
Which is weird. But,
Yeah.
well,
Heroes
yeah, I guess
shenanigans. So yeah, anyways, that's the Trunks. Let's see, his 12 key modifier is 140
Well, because
like
what's
usual.
interesting, real quick, I'll just give
Yeah.
you a fun fact. In the scene that this particular Trunks is from, he's actually fighting Boo. So, which obviously Trunks never, faces Majin Buu. It would like this anyway. Obviously not Super Saiyan 3, but like future Trunks. So, I guess that's why, because I don't know if they consider it an alternate timeline or something. But that's just a fun fact about where that Trunks comes from.
So, yeah, now let's get into possibly the most technically team-changing card in this in the heroes lineup. Darkness Toa.
Thick goddess.
AGL types key +2, HP and attack 6%, irrelevant. Supreme damage and lowers attack. And here's the kicker. Let me get her passive on Google Translates. Yeah, don't even try reading it. Extreme class key +2, attack and defense +25%. Now that's good.
Which is really good.
But here's the kicker. When HP is 30% or below, recover all HP and attack +50%. And I think people said the attack +50% is to all allies or something? Or was that not confirmed?
I'm not sure. It could be.
But either
Let's
way...
see. Does it give us a note? No.
But either way, her link skills are Master of Magic, Rival Duo, Battlefield Diva, Demon Duo, Scientist, and Thirst for Conquest, and she's on Peppy Gal, so... Yay.
Yay! But yeah, she is definitely like the most game-changing card. So here's why. She basically like is like optimal on Extreme AGL. She is very good. I like literally don't run Extreme AGL without her on it.
Yeah.
She is very good. Obviously, you know, obviously she's a great support unit, but the main thing about her, you know, of course, is that we kind of referred to it as the AGL Whis mechanic just because she's the first unit to have it. But you know, that healing, and that is so helpful.
And keep in mind, she gives extreme allies, not just the AGL or whatever, so she can be run on villains too.
Right. So you can run her on villains too, exactly. So she is very good on both of those teams.
Yeah.
And you know, her links aren't the best, obviously, as you can see, but she doesn't really need to link up to kind of do what she needs to do. Obviously, that would be a nice bonus. But here's the thing too. So obviously, she's like literally like team changing for Extreme AGL.
But
there's a couple things
runs Extreme
Right.
AGL
Exactly.
often nowadays.
You don't run Extreme AGL too often
because of the friend system mostly.
Right, which will get changed.
Hopefully, depending on how they change it. Yeah, like
we'll see.
Right now, JP's in maintenance. If you guys see up here.
Out. Yeah, when we're filming this video, well, actually, when this will have the update, but
yeah.
When this video goes up, it will be out, so you can comment about that and meme on us how we don't know yet. But anyway, nonetheless, though, obviously nobody runs, you know, Extreme AGL too often. So, you know, and the other thing too is that you're not like there's better teams to run than Extreme AGL. For one, like of course, you know, for fun you can just run whatever team you want, obviously, but you know, there's so many better teams to run than Extreme AGL. And the other thing is too, a lot of people, or at least from my experience, like just don't have all of the proper cards, because the kind of unfortunate thing about Extreme AGL is that if you don't have like all of the optimal cards, you're pretty much just you know in water
up a creek.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you know, like literally without those optimal units, the team is very bad.
And the thing is, I will say this is maybe a bold claim, but even on villains, you have to remember that is, for one, it has to be a rainbow team. And it's only a 120 lead, and we're on 170s. JP's getting more 170 leads as we speak.
Right.
So heroes and villains are getting power creeped even more than they were last time with Fizz VB and AGL Rose.
Mm-hmm. And too, then she on that team obviously takes the AGL spot. So
Exactly.
You know, any AGL villain that you would be running, you know, maybe even you would be running Super 17 on that team. You could be running Turles.
Exactly,
you know?
and I'd honestly run Turles over her if anything.
Oh, 100%. You know, so there's obviously better units that you could be running. You know, if you're running Bojack with that LR, obviously you'd probably want AGL Bojack on the team, you know, to link up with Bojack. So, you know, she's obviously, like we said, very good card. Probably, I would say here's the thing, she's not the best out of the bunch, quote unquote, because like I would say that the Gohan or the Gotenks is better than her.
But she is the highest ranking on the optimal list. And I use air quotes, by the way.
Right. Yeah. And for like we were saying, like for what she does, she's definitely the best at it and very good.
But even then, for Extreme AGL, unless you're trying to do Super Battle Road, which honestly, I don't count Super Battle Road for much for anything, because that mode, like, it's really more of an RNG fest, and this Toa could help, but it wouldn't, like, sure, her heal could help, but, and it might win you a round or so, but you can still beat it without it, or else they wouldn't have made the mode, knowing that Extreme AGL couldn't beat it without having this specific unit.
Right. Though I will say she definitely helps.
Yeah. So, bottom line is, half these units are complete trash. The other half are usable, but easily replaced. The only one technically not being that easily replaced would be the Darkness Toa.
Right, exactly.
So TLDR, global people, stop complaining these units aren't even that good, but you're getting better units in the future. JP's getting better ones every day we speak. So just let it go. Stop saying Global Shaft. Or, in the words of the truth, go to JP. We're done here. Say bye, Theo.
Although, a shameless plug.
Oh my god.
I'm actually having a video go up this week. Maybe it'll be linked in the description. I don't know.
I'll link it for you. Why not?
Thank you. About why the Dragon Ball Heroes unit will probably never come to global. We kind of gave a short version in this video, but I want to give more of an explanation.
Yeah.
So that video will be going up this week on my channel. Keep it up go check it out is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
If you love some Dragon Ball Heroes goodness. But otherwise,
but there's still a
that's
chance.
gonna do it.
There's a small chance,
There
but
is definitely a chance.
But anyways, that was my opinion, and also Thea's. We shared pretty similar opinions here. So, all in all, nothing too big, and even like, I'll just say this also to pad out the length time, shameless cash grab, etc, whatever. Even the new units, like the new upgraded Otherworld units on JP, just to tie into JP exclusive stuff, the Kaioken Goku is better than the global one, but even then he is not optimal on any team. Pycon is virtually unusable on any team in the game. Frieza is usable, but even then the global one is just as usable. Cell, who cares about him? Extreme HL is a lost cause. And SR King Colt is obviously the most optimal in the game. Supreme damage, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100. Better than in Gogeta.
Best game.
Alright, with that, I'll stop taking you guys' time with memes and everything. Later, guys.
Adios, muchachos.